Hey, good life riders, welcome back to a beautiful, beautiful day here in Nebraska as we end February and we move into the month of Daytona Bike Week and kind of the beginning of, well, what everybody kind of considers spring. Early spring, but nonetheless springtime. Gonna have to turn directly into the sun. We're right at that witching hour of before when the good old sun goes down, and when it's still here, drops into the 30s. So today we had 67 degrees. It always feels so much warmer when we get into that time frame of the year. Everybody's got their bikes out. But we are going to this week talk to you a little bit about some of the things you can do at Daytona Bike Week. If you have ever been to Daytona Bike Week, you may not care about this, but if you've never been there before, or if you want to try out some new things, we're going to talk about some of the things you can do at Daytona Bike Week. I got to tighten up a mirror. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So last year I took a trip, rode my motorcycle from Nebraska to Daytona Bike Week, 1,500 miles, and then rode around while I was about 1,400 to where I was staying in St. Augustine. My wife and my daughter flew down and we partook in some of the riding around the area. And look at that mirror. My mirrors are all jacked up on my Sportster. So we are going to tell you a little bit about some of the things you can do and some of the things I have done. I'm not big into the partying, but we'll talk a little bit about that. We did go check out one of the party central areas, and we'll tell you a little bit about that and show you some of the sights of the area. And in the comments below, if you I probably could have made it. In the comments below, if you want to let me know how many times you have been to Daytona Bike Week. Also, let me know your favorite thing to do at Daytona Bike Week. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. Officialbikeweek.com is a website you can go to. They have a calendar, and you can check out what's happening for every single day. They don't have every concert and all of that listed, but it has a lot of the big activities that are happening. And if you click on the activity, you find an activity, you click on it, you go to it, it tells you a little bit about it, tells you where it's at, shows you a little map of where it's at, tells you the times of it, what type of event it is, who the organizers are, and all of that. There's also a Facebook page called Daytona Bike Week 2022. They change it every event that's happening, and they give you all the different concerts that are going on and a lot of other stuff. People talk back and forth, so you can check that out, and those are some great places. I'll put those in the description below. But let's talk a little bit about the area so you know where you're going and where things are happening. So you have the Main Street area here. That's kind of the, you know, what's known as the bike week thing, where everybody rides their bikes up and down. There are some other areas where people are doing riding, and I'm not sure where those areas are, but there's also the Speedway Daytona 500 area. They have races out there. They also have a lot of vendors and bike shows out there. So that's a great place where you can go. And then if you cruise up here, you know, the well-known area where Iron Horse Saloon, that's one of the places where a lot of the concerts are, and a lot of places where people like to go, one of the famous places to go and see. As well as way down south, we'll show you here, Cackleberry Campground and the Cabbage Patch, where the coleslaw wrestling is. Those are the different areas. There's also a lot of things starting to happen out in the Land and Deltona area. And then, of course, where all the vendors are is up here by Bruce Rossmeyer, Harley Davidson, and the Destination Daytona area. So as we shoot up here a little bit further north, you know, you've got the area where you can ride the loop, which is kind of around in this area here. And then up here in Flagler Beach area, there's some bars you can go to. There's some other areas up there you can check out, places to eat. Also riding A1A right along the ocean. I always like doing that a lot. And then, of course, I like riding across all the bridges. Kind of just a cool scenery. And so that's kind of how everything's set up for Bike Week, all in this area here mainly. So check that out so you know where you can go. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about getting into Destination Daytona. It's not too bad. I think they kind of have it set up pretty good. It gets kind of congested at this area right at where it meets I-95. But they've done a good job in this area allowing only bikes to come in under that lane, and then riding down this long way. You go quite a ways, and as it gets busier in the day, when they stop through this area to let people walk across, it gets a little busy. But then they run you way down and you're like, where am I going? But I think they have it set up. There's a huge parking lot, and when it's really busy, this whole area is just full of bikes. But on this day, I got there a little early, got parked, got to get in there and actually go see Traveling Tall. Cool thing is you get to have all these meetups with different YouTubers, be able to take your pictures with them. Got to take some pictures with Traveling Tall. I also got to see and talk with the World Record Poker Run organizers, Sonny and Mama Badger. Then it's kind of cool. You can go through at Destination Daytona. You can get everything you need for your bike, from new fairings, new inners, new windshields. You can even get you a really cool bike from Trask. Get a turbo on your bike. Be totally set. And you can go into JP Cycles, where you can get basically everything that you could ever want for your motorcycle, and a whole lot of other things you don't really need. I thought it was kind of cool too. I think this is Pro Rider. They had set up to do some little skilled rider demos. And if you see here, they're working in an extremely small area. Each one of those parking spaces is about 9 feet. And then it's probably about 21 feet wide. So they're working in an extremely small area, maybe 27 feet total. Maybe a little more than that. But they were riding around this area, and then they went around on the other side of the tent too. One of the things I really like about the rallies, Daytona Bike Week, is getting to see bikes. This is just bikes that were parked at Destination Daytona, but being able to see all the different bikes, that people ride, how they've all custom their bikes to be just exactly what they want. That's my favorite part of the rallies, and I spend hours just walking around looking at all the different bikes that are there. Same thing whether this is out at Daytona 500 area, tons and tons of bikes. You can walk along and check out how everybody's customed each bike. I didn't find a single bike that looked the same. I really like this bike. I like the color purple, and I like this bike, how it's set up. If you see your bike on here, or if you see yourself on here, let me know in the comments where you saw your bike. I like how even the cup holder was set up just right. They also have all the different motorcycle manufacturers have places to ride. This is again out at Daytona 500 Speedway, and Yamaha was here, BMW was here. I think Indian might have been out here too. You can see this guy wanted me to take a picture of him with that bike with the funky front end on it. I don't even know what that bike's called, but it's pretty cool. And so that's cool. The other thing is we went down by Indian. You can see all the bikes. They had tons of bikes for sale. Tons of people coming and see them. We got to ride the Indian Challenger. That was really fun. I really enjoyed riding that bike. You can check out up above. I'll put a link to where I give a review of riding this bike. My daughter really enjoyed riding it as well. And they let you go out and ride it. They don't really give you a time frame. You know, they say about 20 minutes or so you can go out and ride it, but they don't have any time frame set to tell you. They don't have anybody that's sitting there with you. Then we also went out, got to ride a slingshot again. They just let you ride it, sign up. My daughter got to drive this. She has a driver's license, so she was able to ride that. But my favorite, one of my favorite things about going to Daytona Bike Week is being able to be by the beach, being able to even ride on the beach. I didn't ride on the beach this time, but you can go out and ride the beach. You can go out and walk along the beach. You can hang out at the beach if you want. It's kind of cool to be able to get off your bike and be able to go hang out at the beach or near the beach. There's restaurants all along the area. You can hang out at the beach and have drinks with your buddies. You can go to the little bars that are right there. So those are some of the cool things that I like doing when I go to Daytona Bike Week. I also really like riding over all the bridges. I always ride over every single bridge that there is. It's cool. I love being able to see the scenery, see the other bridges that are out there. This is the International Speedway Boulevard Bridge. I like riding that one. I like riding the Main Street Bridge. I ride them all. But when it comes to riding, my absolute favorite thing to do is to go ride A1A. I ride it all the way down. I usually stay in St. Augustine, and I'll ride it all the way down, right along the beach. It's so cool when you get around the Flagler beach area from about Ormond to Flagler. You get a ride right along, see all the cool houses that people have and how they're decorated. But I like riding right along next to the ocean. I will say when you do this, you get a lot of salt air on your bike, so make sure you're either set to clean it yourself or go to one of the mini bike wash that are available. But you can't go to Daytona Bike Week without taking in the Iron Horse Saloon. If you've been there, let me know in the comments when you generally try to go. Traffic here is absolutely crazy. I think it took us, I don't know, 45 minutes once we turned on to US 1 to get out to here. There's tons and tons of vendors. There's vendors across the street. There's vendors here, but I think it's really cool how the bikes are parked right in amongst where everybody's walking and where everybody's hanging out. There's all kinds of vendors. Generally, these are a lot of smaller vendors, but there's also people like Jack Daniels handing out paraphernalia. I just absolutely love how there's bikes parked all over the place. And there's tons of bars. Everywhere you turn, there's another bar that you can get a drink from. And there's tons of people. But this is one of those one-of-a-kind experiences that if you're going to Daytona Bike Week, you have to at least once go to the Iron Horse Saloon to check it out. I like the elevated walkway area where everybody hangs out and just kind of watches everybody coming in. And then, of course, there's the area where they have the concerts, and there's bikes parked everywhere. I really don't know if you're coming in and you're going back out of this when it gets really busy, how you get out of there. I mean, you basically come and plan on staying most of the evening, I believe. But they even have the Wheel of Death. We didn't get, or the Wall of Death. We didn't get to see that, but I've seen them before, and that's pretty cool to see as well. You can check out the times there, and you can go to there. There's also is a Wall of Death at Destination Daytona. So one of those two places, you can check that out. I recommend it. If you want, you can get down into the pit and actually watch the concerts. I believe it was David Allan Cole that was singing this night. Tons of people there. Again, let me know in the comments below if you see yourself in here. Let me know what time period you saw yourself, or if you saw someone else that you know. Go ahead and let us know in the comments that. Then we walked across the elevated area too. Had to check this out. I think it's really cool that all throughout the Iron Horse Saloon there's different bars. So here they took an old bus, turned it into a bar. Full service bars all over the place. If you go thirsty here, that's your own fault, that's for sure. It was so cool to see the area and walk above here. You know, it's kind of one of those experiences, just like I used to say, if you are ever in Daytona, you should attend Daytona Bike Week at least once in your life. If you ever go to Daytona Bike Week, you should attend or walk through the Iron Horse Saloon and check it out at least once. This was, I believe, Thursday, so it was just starting to pick back up. Pretty cool experience. Pretty cool being able to stand up above and see everybody hanging out. So definitely a people watching place for sure. So here shortly, if you know this area that I'm going to show you, if you know this area here and what it's used for, let us know in the comments below what that is. So we hope that you enjoyed that. We got a little bit of wind today. It felt pretty calm today. I don't see, we're getting a little wind back there, you can see. But let us know if you like this content. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a like, and let us know what you thought of this video, if it was helpful to you, if you've never been there, or if you got something new out of the whole deal. Daytona Bike Week has changed considerably since the first time I went in 1997, but still I think it is one of the, I don't know if it's not the granddaddy, but it's maybe the grandma or maybe the great aunt of the old bike shows. So until next time, keep the sunny side up.
keep the rubber side down, and have an utterly awesome day. Stay mirror.